Something is off. Well, now it's like I'm watching Born Legacy. Actually, it's kind of a nice movie. And like you can see how folks do investigations. I cannot say that someone went to the bottom of the sea to collect a waterproof resident permit from like the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea. For instance, that's a hypothesis. Then I keep on thinking basically, and I'm also seeing is that they take also the necessary steps. Sometimes it's like I see it's like the change in work schedules between individuals, and it's just tiring situation, especially to review if I am linked to a certain entity or not. I have now like to recharge the page. I'm speaking like as clearly as possible. There is probably two people that I can take with me in the ride from through a country. So all of this is realistic. What's non-realistic is the safety of my move through, and this has been generated by some racist individual in a very strong manner during the month of January 2017. Well, it's like yes, you can't know how is it's difficult to know. It's difficult like for a lot of people to realize how is difficult to exit from Sweden. How was difficult to exit from Sweden in 2017. A person is like me. I had to show that during the entire year 2017 that I was preoccupied with my studies, and thankfully the chief or some officer has realized that basically, and has realized also a lot of other things. They drove with me, and I was simply like at the peak basically like in 2017. I thought that those people that brought me in from Sweden were like from NASA or something. It's like a materialistic view of or like materialistic view between between like the different planets. And it's like, as I have said to individuals and to myself, and how I explain it and what I link it, and I wrote to a lot of people and I visited a lot of embassies prior to the World Cup, but things were extremely different at that period of time. So the application that I sent is like the appendix, the business financial plan of dankasu.pdf, market overview kasu.ps, bishtek, and my CV. I had like a renewed CV, while I have basically included everything. I do have like, it's like there's like a strong oppositions and a lot of people cancelled each other out basically, and it leaves me basically is like with an eastern way. I'm telling this is like so I thought it's like the best way to inform individuals, and I have in here, this is it's like before Brexit. This is, and while I was in Sweden, I was faced some sort of extortion of money, meaning like people were like stealing money from me. But then I understood that they were like in a tough situation in Sweden, and now they have somehow to refund the things, so that yes, it's like this is how things work. So I work to someone in Imperial College. I've said my work is in the field of complex energy systems based on environmental sustainability and is divided into several phases. Phase 1, background research for energy and environmental planning. Phase 2, providing a list of available energy technologies. Phase 3, resource review for most items. Phase 4, creation of a sustainability plan. Phase 5, nexus between food, energy and the environment. Phase 6, amount of energy that could be replaced by renewable energy systems. Phase 7, schedule full conversion to renewable energy. Phase 8, socio-political analysis for the acceptance of such technologies. In planetary terms, it's like I'm like describing in phase 1 I'm describing in phase 1 Mercury, in phase 2 Venus, even in the way of the rotation, which is like different from other planets, and that it has no moon or like one or something like that, and that if something enters, like it came like off, it's it's like very very heated planet. Then phase 3 resource review for most items is like describing Earth. Phase 4 is like creation of sustainability plan describing Mars. Phase 5 describing the belt of rocks. Phase 6 Jupiter. Phase 7 Saturn. Phase 8 Uranus. What is phase 9? I thought that it's basically is like complex system and the environment. What is it in my brain is like well, Neptune is like a way of holding off your tears basically, and that's phase 9, or like the globing everything, because when I actually do this like in mathematical terms, it's like I have like a view that I think I don't have like a very real proof of this, but like probably through math, is that the yes is that this is that the gravitational force of the sun has a limit at Uranus, and then Neptune is just there, and then I have to explain that. So I reached actually that point. So and I reached basically like that point in my understanding. I don't know why I'm speaking in this way, and I'm very sure it's like those are like offers like from this is me writing to ecn.nl in the Dutch Republic, the Entrepreneurship Center Network or something like that. And it's like a work which is like yeah, and I just had like to concentrate, and by speaking out basically and not holding out, I was able basically like to free out some room to tackle like phase 5 and phase 6. Now I'm phase 7. I think I have completed it. I understood how things work. So I started with water technology, wind power, solar power, then it comes basically to the other sources basically. And no one can understand how tough this is. I had basically like the opportunity to understand that I won't be looking like a fool describing what's inside of my head. And I learned that from individuals that the Princeton University professor is extremely tough, and but then he told me like a compliment, which was like, I think it was one of the best things in my life. Then this is me writing on 7th of September 2018. I had like the and the Blueminds company opened in June 2014. And it said it's software energy application, company building, investment in startup and communication building. And when I see like what are the requirements that I have to meet, I think it's like I've sent something extremely clear just to alleviate everyone from their not suffering, but from their ideas. And it was like some sort of like what I have been doing, and I'm simply like with individuals who don't know me this way. Why? Because the English language is not such predominant in this region. Maybe the French, and then all of the knowledge that I acquired and the way that I actually express my ideas are only in English. What I have all written, I cannot say it basically in French. And then I kept and I kept and I kept. And I had the chance to voice out my everything. And I climaxed it and I climaxed it, and I wrote and I waited, and I applied, and well, it's just individuals who think that well, I lived in Scandinavia for a long period of time, so basically they know me, those individuals. I have this like an email from, maybe they had like a long period of time to assess, and can you believe this? There's like a PhD position in DTU, and it's in the field of material science and climate research. And I wrote a lot of things about this. It's like if the world was a better place, it's like I'm doing my PhD. Then I'm looking at my emails of the month of September, and it's like and when I contact individuals, like they always refer to other individuals to contact, and it has been always like this. And at the last time I ended up basically being with them, I had this from the 24th of November 2016. Can you believe this? It's like me describing the sun now. It's like I have written during like I have written this. It's like 16 days or 15 days after Trump, after the Republican candidate was elected. And I've sent it to the Princeton professor. And I said it's deal with the topic of renewable energy mixing a future grid. I have provided inputs from different energy sources. I might also be considering the idea of a base load energy backup, energy sources that would actually involve a fossil fuel instead of nuclear power. Today we can convert CO2 to ethanol, which is something vital. Can you believe this? CO2 to ethanol. I could also attach a couple of reference papers to it. I would like your advice and input, as well as if there's a possibility to refer me to a colleague or a professional working in the field. I have sent the proposal to several institutions and individuals I know. It is my original ID. I would also like to be trusted and protected. I would very much appreciate your advice. I have received a reply from him, and moving forward is like I always tell people it's like isn't this moving forward? And I've done this, and as I've said, it's like I was fearful for my life when during like January 2017 and December 2016 because of the individuals which were in that town or that university. Then it's like they went to the United Nations in 2016 and things went in 2017, and then it was like oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Things were much clearer. People are talking with me. This is what I have been doing. I've written to office at Klima Funds. I don't know, but like I do not get a reply from them. Someone blocks my in the incoming emails toward me, and this is during the period of time while I was paying my iCloud account. I paid like my iCloud account was paid. My account at Apple was a paid account. And it's like I detached myself as far as possible from the country where I am. And I wrote to a lot of people, and no one had like the opportunity to take me seriously. And then I have someone who is there who like just need to put troubles. And you know when that happens, it's like we take the entire country and we no longer do business with them or interact with them. And that's basically like a great idea basically. For instance, like in Canada or in the United States, they have like the 2026 World Cup over there. That will require like a lot of focus and a lot of attention. But then in the meantime, it's like we have also to find some sort of rationale between Europe and Africa so that things which are like in history should stay in history and not to research in the 21st century. And that was basically the problem. When things get out of hand, there is always an entity to contact basically. And from the 23rd of August 2018, I see that we have sent you a receipt of both application. I'm able to see your application as well. I don't think there is any problem. If you have further question, you are welcome to contact. This is a PhD scholarship in optimal operation of integrated electricity and heat system at Center for Electricity, etc. And I call these individuals, I visit the embassies, but when I go, I find individuals inside of embassies who simply refuses. This is what happens. They refuse or they have no knowledge where my items are. And these individuals exist and they actually are stirring up trouble in other areas. And it's illegal and unlawful that this court in here has basically, or any court in this country, have to decide matters which are like abroad. I still have my application from the European Court of Human Rights, from the ICC, and all of those things. And it's like I have to say the truth. Some people are not rational. It's like logically, I just have to go to the postal services and collect my items from there. But then I have these crazy individuals who think that blondes are, this is the best, political institutions in like Scandinavia or like in Central Europe send me things like places where people are like to the norm, are extremely not xenophobic but are extremely like defensive to their country. They send things to me and I do not receive them. And I've seen all the emails. There is like the Tunisian election in October 13th. This is from to Blueminds company. There is like the elections of Tunis in October 13th. I don't have. I just asked the police. This is my writings. I asked the police in here or the court to actually retrieve my graduation certificate, and I've asked the court in to give me the A7 resident permit from Austria. That's all. All of other times I just work and this, and they're just causing me trouble. They're not helping me. They're just causing me trouble. I can feel my health. I don't know. The environment in here is bad, and it's just like this. And things were like much more different. I now write to people, and this is what happened. They have sent idiots, and those idiots, well, their dumbness is very much showcased now. And I go to the postal services to retrieve my graduation diploma from a foreign country. I paid with my Danish account. My uncle from Canada, who has like a Canadian bank, have sent me funds to pay from them, and he works in an oil company. And I paid things in Sweden, and my 3 first semester were scholarships from the Swedish government. And before going, the NSA of 2014 has checked on my background. I mean, this is just unbelievable. So there's like a ferry from Tunis to Rome on October 8th, 2019. I don't think I would win the Nobel Prize in Literature this year. Then there's like the election on the 13th, and then there's like the elections in Austria. I think I think it's not it's I think it's Mission Impossible 7. But yeah, that's my profession. That's the only thing I know how to do. I became like a Spartan. It's like what's your profession? Climate action.